How you doing, guys? Welcome to this week's Friday Waffle. Now I know I keep saying this every single week, but I really haven't prepared for this at all. As of about 20 minutes ago, I hadn't even thought about making this video, but you know what, I didn't want to not make it. I know it sounds corny, but I do like to, you know, I'm sure some people kind of enjoy watching the Friday Waffle, and I didn't want to not make it because to me, if you start, as much as I realise people appreciate this is just done for fun, you know, it's not a business, whatever, people start to expect, or not, expect's maybe the wrong word, they look forward to stuff. I know when Steve Benway used to do his Friday talkie, I used to really look forward to it, and I was always disappointed when it didn't appear, but you know, real life takes over. So anyway, first things first, I would like to see the red t-shirt makes its overdue return again. Now, I've actually, I mean, it's quite late at night when I'm making this and it's dark outside, pitch dark. In fact, it's a horrible night. I've just back for taking the dogs out a walk and it's absolutely pissing it down with rain. Really feel like summer is long gone, and all I've got to look forward to now is Christmas decorations and shops selling overpriced bloody presents. Yeah, so where was I going to go with this? Yeah, what I've done is, because it's dark in this room, I've actually put the TV on behind the camera and I've put it to like white noise, so hopefully that's going to generate a wee bit kind of light. So we'll see what happens. But gaming wise, guys, this week, you know what, the only game I have actually played, and it was the beginning of the week, was my, I'm currently doing a sort of a walkthrough or a playthrough. It's not a walkthrough, talkthrough, sorry. Yeah, I'm doing a playthrough of Resident Evil 4 on the Wii. That's the only game I've actually played. Now, I've not played it for a few days. So yeah, now I've got a couple of things to talk about which I've managed to think about when I was walking the dogs. I've not written them down, so if I forget then I do apologise. The first thing is, what was it? I did an Arcade Perfect My Arse Alien Syndrome. Was it Alien Syndrome? Yeah, it was Alien Syndrome. And I think I remarked on the difficulty of the Amiga version. I was remarking how difficult it was. And one of the guys that was watching the video left a comment, and he was basically saying that the arcade version has multiple difficulties. Obviously, you know, arcade games are designed to get kind of harder and harder and harder. And what he told me was the Amiga version, to make it a challenge so you didn't complete it easily enough, he put they basically put the difficulty at what would be the hardest level in the arcade. So I think it was at level 8 is the hardest in the arcade. So the programmers actually stuck the Amiga, the home version, at level 8 to kind of make it a challenge. Now that got me thinking, how difficult is it to judge how difficult to make a game, how easy, how hard it is? I mean, we've all played games where they're dead easy, and we've all played games where they're impossible. I know I certainly have. One game that sticks out in my mind for being too easy, and I think I've mentioned this in a waffle before, or I've certainly mentioned it in a video of some sorts. Back in the day when we had the Commodore Amiga, me and my mate Ian, he had an Amiga, we both had STs, Amigas. Well, we had an ST, then we sold it and got the Amiga. I think we just actually got the Amiga, and we saw a screenshot of Street Fighter, now not Street Fighter 2, the original Street Fighter, and the screenshots, you know, looked awesome. You need to bear in mind, guys, he had gone from an Electron, so shit, flame away. Nah, I mean, I'm only joking. Yeah, I mean, the Acorn Electron didn't have the greatest graphics, so that was what the graphics that he was kind of used to in games. I had a C64, which was slightly less shit, but going from 8-bit graphics, you know, I don't know, 2-3 colours if you were lucky, blocky graphics, to something that resembled like artwork, it looked amazing. So yeah, I bought, what we did was, because of the price of games, what we used to do is once a month when we got paid, we would decide between us what game we were going to buy. One month we would buy the game between us and it would be Ian's game to keep. The next month we would do the same again, but it was my game to keep. So we got to keep one game each every 2 months, but we swapped games. So that was our way of getting games for the sort of the ST and Amiga. Obviously before piracy kicked in, then we got hundreds of games for nothing. But yeah, so that's what it was. And anyway, I'm kind of doing a Billy Connolly. I'm going away off on a tangent, getting completely carried away from what I'm talking about. Anyway, Street Fighter. Bought Street Fighter. I remember coming home with it. We got the bus, came back in the bus, and it was Ian's game. I mean, that was Ian's game to keep. And I told him, I'll put the game on, you go and put the kettle on and make us a cup of tea. So he did that. We got to my house, he went away, put the kettle on, I quickly fired up the game, and I kid you not, by the time he came through with a cup of tea, I'd actually completed the game. It was just piss easy, you know, just keep stabbing with the fire button, completed the game within, I don't know, 10 minutes, if that. So yeah, he was, to say he was gutted is probably an understatement. I mean, back then it was probably about 40 odd quid for a game, so yeah. But yeah, we've all played games where they're just piss easy. But conversely, now I've touched on this before, we've all played games that are just too damn difficult. And it's a fine line. I mean, as much as I wouldn't want to buy a game and complete it really easily, then feel completely cheated, if anything, I would probably feel more cheated if I bought a game and I just couldn't get past a certain level. I mean, some of the 8-bit games, they were notoriously difficult, you know, some of the sort of platform games. And to be perfectly honest, I used to actually think to myself, you know, programmers would say, you know, it's got 24 levels. And I would think to myself, how do we know there's 24 levels? How do we know? We know there's 24 levels because the guy tells us there is. But what is to stop a programmer, apart from probably being, wouldn't it be, is it fraud? Well, it'd basically be infringing on advertising standards. But, you know, there's nothing to say to stop somebody putting out a game saying there's 100 levels, and all you do is, there might only be 10 levels, but you basically make level 6 or something impossible to get past. So nobody is ever going to know that there's not 100 levels. Now, I'm not saying for 1 second that happened. I'm sure it probably did. I mean, there were certainly some games that were impossible to complete. I know Jet Set Willy was impossible to complete. There was a few other games I think that were impossible. But yeah, some games were just too damn difficult. I think I don't know, platform games, 8-bit games, you didn't feel ripped off the same because you'd maybe spent a tenner on it and you knew that you could maybe get, because these games you were, I don't know, you would maybe take 10 minutes to get to the level that you couldn't get past, and then you knew that, you know, one day you could fire it up and maybe get past that level, so it didn't take long for you to reach it, and you knew that maybe one day you would crack it. But I find with current games for current generations, now I class current generations as things like the PS3, 360, PS4, you know, you buy a game and you pay 40 odd quid for it and you just can't get past a certain level, and there's nothing more frustrating. I mean, I was talking about, you know, should they build in the ability to skip a level, or, you know, infinite energy and that kind of thing, and I think that would be a good idea. I know some people probably wouldn't think that would be, but I do. But yeah, it must be bloody difficult for a programmer trying to pitch game difficulty just right. Again, something else that I've touched on before, I never really think that arcade games make the best home games. Now what I mean by that, yeah, arcade games, they're exciting to look at, you know, if you get a good conversion, they're exciting to look at. Arcade games are designed to draw the person in, get them to put money in, get them to spend, you know, have 3 or 4 goes and die quite quickly. Now the problem arises when you convert a home version, you convert an arcade game to a home version. If you get, you know, arcade games are designed to end the game fairly quickly. Apparently the average time for an arcade game should be about 2 minutes tops, and if somebody can play for more than 2 minutes, then they'll probably think about increasing the difficulty. That's why you had dip switches and that kind of stuff, so that the guy who owned the machine, or a restaurant owner, arcade owner, he's able to increase the difficulty to basically shorten the time that people can actually take to play the game. So yeah, arcade games are designed to pull you in and end the game as quickly as possible. So if you get a home version, you've paid a tenner for it, and you can't get past level 2, it's going to be bloody frustrating. And people may criticise it for that, but then arcade games were never written with, well, maybe some games were possibly, but certainly original the earlier arcade games, they were never written with like people playing them at home. I mean, like I says, they were effectively a form of gambling. Instead of fruit machines, you put your money in a game, it took your 20 pence, whatever it was, and you got 2 minutes, and that was the end of it. They were designed to make money, and so I don't think arcade games always make great home conversions. But yeah, what are your thoughts, guys? It's a very, very fine line, I would imagine. I mean, I'm not a programmer, couldn't program for toffee, but I can imagine it's a very fine line between where do you pitch the difficulty level. Don't get me wrong, I've played some games that are just perfect. They draw you in, fairly easy levels to begin with, then they kind of start getting more difficult. But yeah, we've all played games that are too easy, too hard, and it's a difficult one to judge. But give me your thoughts, guys. What do you think? Have you played games that are too easy, too difficult? And where is the perfect? What defines the perfect difficulty? I know obviously with current games now, you can pick levels. You can pick easy, casual gamer, hard, really difficult. I mean, the perfect game for that was Doom. That had to get to multiple levels, skill levels, and that was perfect. So anyway, I'm going to pause this because obviously I can only run to 2 gig and then it cuts out. So back into. Okay guys, back again. I just need to squeeze up a cup of tea here. Now, the next thing that's not really, it's not really gaming relevant. Well, it is, I suppose. I've been fairly quiet this last week with gaming. I think I've mentioned before. No, I'm not going to go into personal stuff, but I've actually just started. The company I work with got taken over, or the contract I worked on got taken over, and I've actually just moved to a new company on Wednesday. Now, I don't know if anyone else has been in that position. It's basically, I was transferred under the 2P, which protects your terms and conditions. But anyway, obviously starting a new job, it's always a bit stressful because right now we don't know whether it's going to be long term, job wise. So I've had quite a bit on my plate this last, I would probably say the last 2-3 months. I've known this was coming, but I think because it was, we knew it was going to be beginning of October, so back in June, you're thinking 4 months away, and July 3 months away, and to me it seemed like it was never going to come, and here we are. I've now moved companies, but yeah, my point, what I'm trying to make, or the thing I want to kind of talk about is, when do you, what makes you want to game? Is there times where you just don't want to game? Now I find if I'm maybe worrying about things, personal things, then my gaming mojo just goes out the window. I don't know what it is. I think you've just got other things occupying your mind, and the thought of, you just don't have any, or I certainly don't have any incentive or desire to switch the MAME cab on and play Robotron. But then I was talking to one of my mates about that today actually, and he was saying, I wasn't talking about gaming wise, but what he said to me was, you should make a point this weekend of loading up a game that you really enjoy, whether it's on the MAME cab or whatever, and just chilling out, enjoying your games again. Get back to, just cut yourself off from reality for a couple of hours and just enjoy the game. And he's probably right, it's yeah, it's one of these things. I think the common thing when you hear people on YouTube talking about lacky videos, it's generally because this thing called RL, real life, does kick in from time to time, and it's always, I mean, with me, I find it's things like my hobbies, my computer gaming, my running, they tend to kind of take a back seat. Just, I don't know, you can't be bothered. You've just not got the inclination to sort of play games, and so because of that, I've not really been making as many videos this week. But anyway, listen guys, I don't want this to sound all doom and gloom, because it's far from it at all, but just to really give you a wee bit of background, I have had other stuff kind of occupying my time these last few weeks. Now just before I forget, I'm actually going on holiday. When do I go on holiday? In fact, this time next week I shall be in America. We've been saving up for it for a good number of years. Never been, well, I tell a lie, I've been to America when I was a kid. My mum and dad, my auntie used to stay out there, and my mum and dad took me and my two daughters, my two sisters out there many moons ago. But yeah, this holiday, it's my wife and my little girl and myself, we're going to Florida. Never been before, so we're all really excited. So I think that's probably coming at the right time for me. I certainly need a bit of a break just from the work thing, I think, as well. Now I do realise guys that that's going to leave you guys in the lurch for a couple of weeks, but I know how much you're going to miss me. But what I'm intending to do is over the next sort of 4 or 5 days, where I can, I'm going to try and sort of pre-bake some videos. I might even try and do a Friday Waffle maybe middle of next week, but hopefully, well, I'm sure they have Wi-Fi in America. So what I'm going to do is try and make a few videos that I can then, I'll kind of make private, and when I'm in the States, I'm not going to make a video when I'm in the States. I think that would go down with my wife like a fart in a space if I'm on holiday making videos. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a few kind of in advance, and then just every couple of days I can change it to public so you guys can actually see it. So it means you're still going to be getting some stuff from me. It's going to be obviously in reduced kind of quantities from what you're used to. I do usually try and put these out one a day, so it's probably going to be one every 2, maybe 3 days, whatever. But I says I will be back towards the end of October, so you can bear with me, and I haven't abandoned you. I'm still here, I'm just not here making videos. So yeah, now what was the last thing I was going to talk about? Another gaming, kind of gaming related subject. It was actually my daughter's getting she's getting a new mobile phone for her birthday, but we've decided her birthday's not till December, but we decided to give her a phone. We decided to let her have it today, so she can take it on holiday next week. But she's got an iPhone 4, an old one, and it's pretty battered. It's kind of smashed in the back and that kind of stuff. So I was going to put it on eBay, and I thought to myself, fuck, you know what, too much hassle with eBay. So then I went on to, what did I go on to? I went on to one of these is it O2 Recycle websites, and I put in the make and model and the condition, and they were going to give me 32 quid for it, and I thought, bloody hell, £32 for an iPhone. Now the thing is, although it's smashed in the back, it's all cracked, it's got a couple of minor surface scratches on the front, and it's in absolute 100% working order. So I thought, bollocks to that. So I went on eBay and had a quick look, and good condition iPhone 4s are going for about 60, 70, 80 quid. So what I thought was, I'll go into Gumtree and I'll put it 40 quid. Put in 40 quid. Now I put it up about lunchtime. I think lunchtime today, I don't know what time it was, maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock. And I kid you not guys, by I would say 2 hours after posting it, I ended up taking the advert down, because I must have had about 20 people all wanting this phone. And of course when that happens, you immediately think, bollocks, I should have asked more for it, but I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to say, no, I'll stick the price up. So yeah, what I did was, it was just ridiculous how many people were wanting it. But then when you think about it, 40 quid for a working iPhone is pretty damn good. It's an iPhone 4, it's not an iPhone 1 or anything like that, it's a damn good phone. But so anyway, I gave it to the first person to reply. They turned up tonight and took it away. But it just got me thinking guys, when you're selling stuff, or even buying stuff, where do you, in fact let's just talk about selling. When you sell stuff, do you sell it online on eBay, or do you do the Gumtree route? I mean, I've sold a lot of stuff on Gumtree over the years, but I don't know, it's not as good as it used to be. I mean, what was I trying to sell recently? Yeah, I think I mentioned it. No, what was I talking about? In fact, yeah, the thing that I was trying to sell was, dare I say, that the Game Mate console which I had. Now I paid £25 for that, so I thought to myself, what was I going to do? I was going to put it starting like £1, and I was going to put a reserve of 25 quid. I thought, well, so I get at least my money back, because there was one sold for 60 quid. And I thought, well, this one's boxed, mint condition. So I was going to do starting bid £1, not buy it now, reserve 25 quid. So I did that, and it came up, the minimum reserve price is £50. I thought, for sake. So anyway, I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll put it buy it now 50 quid. So I put it buy it now 50 quid, and I let it run for 2-3 days, and I think there wasn't a single watcher. It had been viewed maybe 20 times, no watchers to speak of. So I took it off, and I thought, right, well, what I'll do is I'll put starting price £20. I'll put it as an auction, starting price £20, and I thought, if I even just get one bid, then I'm going to get back sort of most of my money. So I did that, let it run for, again, 2-3 days. Nothing, absolutely nothing. No watchers, no bids, nothing. So anyway, I realise that's not eBay's problem. I mean, it's probably the fact that I'm selling something that's so niche and so shit that there's very few people that would actually buy it. Right, back into, I'm just going to pause it because it's going to cut out again. Yeah, so anyway, like I said, that fault isn't down to eBay, but that was just a kind of off the topic thing. But what I've found recently with eBay, you sell stuff. I mean, I've sold a few phones in the past and other bits and pieces, and by the time you get maybe, I don't know, say 50 quid for something, and you think excellent, then the PayPal fees come off, you get, I don't know, 47 quid. And you think, hey, excellent, I'll buy something with my 47 quid. And then about a month later, you get this big whacking bill for £14. It's like, what? I mean, I sold a phone, an Android phone, about 2 years ago, and I think, did I sell it for about 250 quid? I sold it for about £200, and I ended up paying, it was something outrageous like £37 in fees. You know, that's a shitload of money. That's on top of the actual cost to sell the damn thing. So yeah, and even just another thing that annoys me as well. I mean, I sold a lot of Atari games about 6 months ago, and again I had it advertised. It was purely, not importing. I'd only dispatch within the UK, and I got a couple of guys for Germany saying, "Oh, would you mind posting them out to Germany?" I thought, right, okay, I'll do that. So I did that, and lo and behold, these guys won, and they never left me any feedback. Now, I know feedback, at the end of the day, what's the big deal about feedback? But as we all know, guys, feedback is basically your stamp of authenticity. It's your mark of how good an eBayer you are. So it kind of pissed me off that I went to the bother of having to post this stuff abroad, and yet the guys couldn't even leave me any feedback. And then there's another, again, this is just a kind of moan about eBay in general, but I think I mentioned that I sold a wireless router which I had brand new, bought it about 2 years ago, paid 60 quid for it. I discovered that it wouldn't work with my Sky broadband, so I just packaged it back up and stuck it in the cupboard. I thought, 2-3 years down the line I might have a use for it. It was maybe 2-3 weeks ago I found this thing, and I thought, it's just gathering dust. It's doing absolutely no good sitting in a cupboard. So I stuck it on eBay. I put it down for starting bid 99p, and it sold for £2. Was it £2.50? No, wait a minute. What was it? No, it was at £1.99 it sold for. It was something outrageous. and then it was like £2 postage. So I think all in I got £4.50 for it. No, in fact, you know what? I'm talking absolute bollocks. I'm talking complete bollocks. It sold for 99 pence plus £2.50 postage. So all in, I got what, £3.49, and that was my cost to actually package the thing up, take it to the post office, and I went for the cheapest postage, which was, I think it was just under, I think it was about the £2.50. And I had to laugh. The guy that bought it actually had the audacity to say to me, can you tell me when I'm going to get it? And I said, I don't know. I said, I posted it 2 days ago. He says, did you not send it tracked? And I'm like, it cost you 99 pence for fuck's sake. Honestly, I mean, that's the perfect example. It would have been far, far easier, and it would have been more cost effective for me to go outside in the street and just lay it on top of a wall and say, free, and just let somebody take it away. Either that or put it in the bucket. So yeah, but again, that's down to just my bad luck. But I certainly find eBay, it's not the same. I mean, years ago it used to be quite a sort of lucrative little kind of way of selling stuff, but it's just too much hassle now. And they seem to have kind of gone too far to, the dogs are kicking off again, it seems to have gone too far to the sort of buyer. It seems that the sellers don't have a leg to stand on now. It's got to the point now that when you sell something and somebody instantly pays you, technically as a buyer you should then leave feedback. As a seller you should then be leaving feedback, saying what a brilliant buyer this person is, they paid right away. But I've done that in the past, left good feedback, then they turn around and say, oh, it's just a TV going off there. They turn around, the buyer then turns around and says, oh, such and such had a mark in it, and they threaten to leave you bad feedback. So what then happens is you end up, as a seller, you end up not leaving feedback until the buyer has left you good feedback. Then you then go in and sort of leave good feedback for them. So yeah, it's kind of going arse for elbow now. But I find Gumtree, case in point today, 25 people want to buy a phone, sold it within about 2 hours. I've sold quite a lot of stuff in Gumtree, and it's, if you're selling the right stuff, people want it. And the great thing is, there's no fees. You come to your house, alright, some people aren't too keen with strangers coming into their house, and I can kind of go along with that, but I don't mind, I mean, I've not got a problem with that, but I can understand some people not being happy with sort of complete strangers turning up at their house, to buy something. But yeah, it's a no-nonsense way of selling stuff. I mean, I've bought a lot of stuff through Gumtree as well. You do get some bargains, and the great thing is there's none of the pissing about with postage costs. You go down, pick it up, pay your money, and away you go, sort of thing. I mean, I'm saying that, I've even bought stuff on Gumtree. Now, I'm maybe one of these overly trusting people, but I've bought stuff in the past, paid into the guy's bank account, and then they've posted it to me, and I must admit I've never been let down yet, but I suppose that is a bit risky when you're selling and buying stuff on Gumtree. You don't have any real sort of comeback at all. So yep, I think that's it, guys. I know it's a bit shorter than probably normal, which probably isn't a bad thing. I do apologise for kind of lack of gaming topics this week, and for being not quite myself. Everything's cool. I've just had a wee other bits and pieces on my plate to think about, but I'm looking forward to my holiday, and like I said, I am intending to make some videos, pre-make them, and then I'll sort of put them out for release every couple of days. So hopefully you'll get at least a couple videos over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Not 2 or 3 weeks, over the next, well, when I'm going on holiday for a fortnight. I don't go until next Friday, so it'll be normal service up until then, and then you'll probably get maybe 2 a week for the next couple of weeks, and then I'll be back just before the end of October, and normal service should be resumed. But as usual, guys, I do appreciate, I noticed, when was it? I noticed about a week ago I seemed to pick up about 6 or 7 subscribers, which was excellent, really good. I do appreciate everybody who watches my videos. I appreciate all the support, It's great being part of the Retro and Lim as well. You know, I'm sort of in a team of good guys as well, so please support these guys as well. I think that is it. Yep, that's it for me. So as usual guys, I hope you enjoyed watching it. Please subscribe, like, comment as you will. And I'm spilling my tea, which is fantastic. And as usual guys, have a fantastic weekend. If this is Friday, if it's Saturday, I hope you're having a great weekend. And if it's Sunday, boo-hoo, work tomorrow. And I hope you had a nice weekend. But as usual guys, thanks for watching.